Coming up to get a quick weight. That's my current race weight right now, with me in it. 4910, almost 5,000 pounds. I thought this was interesting. E85 at a Sunco. This is a Sunco, one of the Suncos in Houston. You guys probably know. And this was kind of odd. It says 51 to 83% ethanol. I've never seen that before, or at least I never recall seeing it. I always see 85. So we just checked this. It's at 75% ethanol. And we're at a little over half a tank. Now we're gonna see the moment of truth. It actually takes a few minutes for it to cycle around, so we'll know in a few moments. So far it's doing nothing but going up, so I think it's a good sign. Oh yeah. So this was my first run. There was if you look in the back, there's a couple Porsches, some badass Porsches like a GT3 RS. Felt like that would have been a good race, and it looked like I was going to line up with one of them, but it didn't work out, and I ended up lining up with McLaren. I believe it's a 720. It could be a 570. Someone in the comments will hopefully tell me, but the car was pretty high. We had all been sitting there idling for a while. I think someone had just oiled down the track or whatever. So I had the car idling like pretty much the whole time because I didn't know if we were going to be going or not. Whenever you end up in the lanes like that, you end up having the idle. If you get lucky enough to be back in the staging area where everybody just lines up, then usually you can have your car off. But once you're like right about to go, you usually are going to have to creep up. I didn't end up having to creep up as much, so I could have left the car off a little bit, but that's kind of just how it goes. So I was pretty excited to line up with the McLaren. I just went ahead and did a second gear launch, and of course I came on my street tires because I came to do the roll race event, but they weren't roll racing yet, so of course I just hopped in the line to drag race because I wanted to do something immediately. So I did whatever was available, and that was drag racing. So I lined up with that McLaren. The car actually hooked decently. If I were there to do runs, I think I could have ran pretty good. In second gear, it actually bit a little too hard, and so it bogged down a little bit in second. So I actually could have launched it a lot harder than that. That was only a 1.960 foot. Okay, so the next race is against a 2017 E63S, which is pretty cool because it's my car's also a 2017, so it's a battle of two 2017s. Obviously one was probably like 3 times the cost of the other new, but mine's also highly modified, but his is all-wheel drive. It was a really cool car. I was talking a really cool dude. I was talking to him for a bit. Right after this dig race, we do a roll race. So in this race, I kind of screw up. I was thinking it was going to hook better based on the previous race, so I was thinking I would just go really lightly in first gear and just try to roll it out. And I just applied way too much throttle, and it spun. I tried to get out of it. I couldn't. I just let it off and wait for it to snap back, and then I got back in it and went down. But if you take a look at the trap speeds on this, you can see that the upcoming roll race will be an interesting race, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good one. So these roll race time slips are kind of interesting because it's not like a normal time slip. It depends on what speed you take off from, the speed you'll achieve in the quarter mile there. So when you compare other people's speeds, or if you look at the speed, it just always depends on what speed you took off from. Some people go from a 40 roll, 50, 60. It just depends on what you can figure out with the other person by the time you line up. This being my very first roll race ever at a track, it was a little bit difficult setting the pace. So if you see, I didn't even take off till well after he did, and I just chased him down. It looks like he was having a little bit of problems with his car because his trap wasn't nearly what it was before. But otherwise, it was a good run. Went 136, so definitely a good roll race pass there. Okay, the next pass here is against it looks like a newer Mustang GT. I checked some of his previous runs. He was running around usually high 12s at around 115, so pretty quick Mustang, probably mostly stock I would assume. Looks pretty good though. Okay, this race here is against a Kia Stinger GT. In this race, he spins or something like that, and he just lets off. So you're gonna see him just disappear. But if you look at some of his previous runs, he was normally trapping at 123 or so. So it's definitely a quick Stinger GT. That is the non-all-wheel drive version. So it's just a rear-wheel drive car. So hence the spinning. This race was against a very nice Scatpack. It had at least intake, built motor, nitrous. I know his bottle pressure wasn't running up to speed, so it's not going to be a full shot, but it is on nitrous and built motor. Very good setup, probably very cost effective, pretty nice, and really good looking car. This was my last race of the night. I basically hot lapped the car. If you look, that this pass was made just like 8 minutes after the last one with the Charger. So the car was hot. It didn't run quite as good as it should have, but I still trapped at about 130. The Mustang I was racing, it was a newer Mustang GT. I'm not sure what mods it had, but it was fast. He trapped at 140. That was higher than most people are doing, so it's pretty good. That was a very quick car. good runs in the Scat. I think the Scat performed pretty well. As far as that race weight being super high, yeah, I had a bunch of stuff in the trunk. Like, I wasn't really planning on coming. I didn't even know they were doing a road race night tonight. So it was kind of last minute. And once I saw that they were doing it, I got an email, or maybe I looked through my email, whatever. I saw that it was there, and I just headed straight there because I was pretty excited. So next time, definitely I'll be more prepared. Not with a car full of stuff, but still performed well. Still put down the power. Still made some decent passes. So I'm pretty happy with her. So it's gonna be it for now. Be sure to like and subscribe. Peace.